Democracy is an interesting term, and I actually looked it up in the dictionary, and it had 4 different definitions, but I think in talking about democracy as a form of government where everybody has equal say. Well, it's interesting because ask me next year how I feel, and it will always change. And that, I think, is the beauty of democracy. Democracy can ebb and flow that way. When you look at it in terms of, does everybody have an equal say? The answer is no. Do they have the potential? Maybe. You know, we have elected representatives, and so those representatives are supposed to be the voice of the people, but we know that they don't always vote the way the people want them to vote. So democracy is not perfect, but neither is any other form of government. In addition, I'm going for my doctorate in the ELC program, Educational Leadership Cultural Foundations. And in cultural foundations, we know that not everybody gets a chance to be equal with other people based on their skin color, based on their religion, based on a whole lot of different factors. So democracy, on paper it works, in real life it's a totally different story. In addition, I went to Northwood University and I got a degree in business. They are very, very big on democracy and capitalism and how those two fit together. They feel that that is actually the best way for people to be equal, because everybody has an equal chance in business and in making a name for themselves and for doing the things they want to do. Their philosophy also is that in democracy and capitalism, you do have a responsibility to give back to the arts and to people who are less fortunate than you are. So that's an interesting thing. In addition, I lived on a kibbutz in Israel, and in a kibbutz, it's very democratic, even though it's socialist, which is interesting, because everybody has a say in what goes on. Everybody rotates the position, so you may be the head of the kibbutz, and the next week you may be working in the kitchen. So, but in each form, somebody always has more responsibility. So things are not always equal every moment of the day. So democracy, wonderful concept, glad that we have it in our country, glad when it works, glad that we don't have to live with coups taking on all the time, governments changing all the time, that there is a flow. Relevance to my life, all of it, all of it. I consider myself pretty democratic. Even in my family unit, we all vote, we all work together. At work, very democratic. We work very well as a team. In government, I watch the news, and I'll tell you the thing that I'm most upset about is people have lost track of the fact that we're all in this together, and people who for entertainment value are doing things that are divisive for our country really bothers me tremendously. But they have a right to say what they say, but I feel that in a democracy people should listen, and people are not listening. So then that is a factor in our democracy today, and that is a factor that scares me for the future of democracy. So I thank you very much for asking me and for making me think about democracy and in my life.